The Shoemaker, a poem by Jason Horsler. I walked past me cobbler's shop, but I could barely see it in all the snow. It were January 6, 1850, Colchester, and dirty ice fell from clouds fat and low. A rotten, soulless Lord's Day it was, and only 15 of us made it into our little building on Artillery Street. And when it was time to begin, the minister had not come. For the drifts in his street were chest high, and someone needed to lead the service, and as the eldest, it were I. Now I ain't a preaching man. I make shoes, that's what I do. Sometimes God calls anyone, and be ready if that one's you. So as I were climbing the pulpit, the door slammed open at the back, and the storm roared in for a moment, and there stood a young man all in black. He were as old as my own son, and his face had a pitiful cast, riven perhaps by the wearying weather, or something else. I could not ask. Look unto me, and be ye saved, all the ends of the earth, I read. For Isaiah 45 was the word. Anyone can look, I boldly said. But my heart was ever doubting, for I had never converted a man. Many of ye look to yourselves. And this is how my sermon began. But I soon ran out of ideas, like the mist puffing out from my breath. If you don't look, you'll be miserable, always in life and even in death. And having little more to say, the dread silence began to grow. So I looked for inspiration, and there he stood, still dripping with snow. Young man, you look miserable. Have you looked? Obey my text. Do it this moment, and you'll be saved. You'll no longer be so vexed. Look to Jesus Christ, young man. Look you, do it now. But it was I who looked in his eyes, and I saw his heart then bow. His dark cloud rolled away in the light of God's own Son, my one and only convert. And look what he's become. The Prince of Preachers, they call him. Through him God's truths all shine, and the millions who come to faith because he looked in part of mine. So tell the ends of the earth to look, and if it's only one person you reach, like me, you can never know to how many others your one will preach. This is the conversion story of Charles H Spurgeon, and it really did happen, as the poem says. On a very snowy day, Charles Spurgeon, at the age of 15, did try to get to church but couldn't make it. So he stumbled into a small Methodist church in Colchester, and the preacher hadn't made it either. And so a local cobbler stood up and tried his best to preach. He might have failed as a preacher, but he did convert Charles Spurgeon, who then went on to become the Prince of Preachers. I hope you enjoyed the poem. Please like and share, and God bless you.